My name is Hailu. I am working for Ethiopian Bio and Emerging Technology Institute as a Deputy Director General. I have a very few slides to show you the aspects of the progress that we have made on the regulatory framework, as well as some of the GMO research and the commercialization aspects. So I have just two very important things. One is the issue of regulatory. What regulatories really do we have in our countries? Is it supportive regulatory to handle genetically modified animals or genome editing experiments? And also I would like to just give you a highlight on the biotechnology or biotech crops or genetically modified crops that we have as a commercialization, and some of these crops are under confined field trials. We ratified a highly preventive biosafety law in 2009. So this law never allowed research and commercialization of the genetically modified organism. Generally, it is very preventive law for GMO, R&D. So if you conduct any research on GMO, there is a possibility that you can go for some years to jail. Anyway, before we go to the jail, the regulation has been changed. So the regulation, this very preventive regulation was again amended in 2015. So the current regulations that we have for GMO allows research on biotech crops, and also it allows commercialization of GMO crops. That means currently, at least, we have a conducive regulations for genetically engineered crops and genetically engineered animals and microbes. So for genome editing, as I have said, in 2015, we amended the regulations. So in these regulations, to treat the genome editing aspects, there are shortcomings. Some of the important terminologies are not well defined in these regulations. For example, no definition of genome editing in that regulation. If this terminology is not defined in the regulation, I think it is very difficult to treat the genome editing experiments or technologies in Ethiopia. And also no definition of genetic engineering and no definition of genetically modified organism in this regulation. So for genome editing, it was agreed to have a guideline, separate guideline, considering the existing proclamation. We don't need another proclamation, but we need a guideline. So we developed a draft guideline for the regulation of genome editing technology in Ethiopia for animals, for plants, for microbes. And we have submitted this document to Environmental Protection Authority last June. So we are waiting for comments or for approval. So for this regulation also we have different, because the proclamation is general one, so we have directives to implement this regulation. So as you can see, we have several guidelines are developed and approved for GMO. And also we have National Biosafety Advisory Committee. It was established in 2017 after the amendment of the regulation. So the committee composed of a range of experts in this category. We have breeders, lawyers, nutritionists. So we picked different experts from different very relevant organizations to make this advisory committee. The number of individuals are 15 in total. And their main role is not different from the regulatories of other countries, just to advise, provide scientific advice for the decision makers. So what we have done so far in terms of genetically modified crops, or better to call biotech crops, the government authorized cultivation of genetically modified cotton, 2 BT cotton varieties in 2018. That means in Ethiopia, currently we have one commercialized two varieties of cotton. And currently also we have different confined trials, for example, carried out by Ethiopian Institute of Agricultural Research. We have a confined laboratory test or greenhouse on transgenic insect, that is false banana. This is common in Ethiopia. So we have laboratory level screening. And the second, we have also confined field trials on 2 stacked maize hybrids, that is Tela maize. So this is also ready for environmental release. This trait is, I think, it is bacterial or pest resistant, as well as the drought resistant maize. The third one is we have also 3 other genes left: blight resistant, stack cisgenic potato. It is also under confined field trial. And we have also 2 BT-GT hybrid cottons under confined trials. By the way, we commercialized in 2018 transgenic cotton, but now the farmers are very, very interested, and they are asking us to bring to the country to commercialize another BT cotton. So this is the request is from the farmers themselves. So currently we have 2 BT-GT hybrid cotton varieties under confined field trials. That means we are really doing a better progress after the proclamation is amended. Finally, so far we don't have genome editing work on animals. This is definitely because of the regulation. We are thinking in the future, but we have genetic improvement program for boran cattle. We are trying to combine the conventional breeding, genetic selection, as well as genomic selection aspects for this one. We have just ongoing, it is ongoing project. I have established the reference populations, around 1,000 animals in the Borana rangeland, and the data collection is actually in progress. These are just the reference populations that we have. So with this, thank you.